The only other thing that I was thinking of was when we were going to be scheduling those interviews
Good job. That was one of mine too.
for the engineer, but that's it.
I love it. So I haven't, that was one of the things I was going to say to you. Have you heard anything from Jonathan? I have not. I was hoping he would be here and we could ask him.
No, he's out in the wind again.
Okay. Good to know. Then I will connect with him and find out what his plan is. I know originally the idea was that they would be hired by him, part of his staff, like contract employees for him. So he would select them and like everything, it was basically going to be like his thing, and we were just, I don't mean that in a pejorative way. Like we're just accepting whoever he takes, but like, basically if he vets them and says they're good, then we would just go with it basically. Right.
But we're struggling just to get
But we're
to
struggling to
that
get
new
him
starting line.
yes, to do that part. So, and then in the email he sent me back, he said something about, yeah, I can help you select a good candidate. And I was like, no, I don't want to select a candidate. Like you need to manage this person. You need to, you know what I mean? Like, just because I mean, I don't know what things I only know their output, right? I don't know what they need to actually do to get to the output. And he's going to have to like train them, coach them, whatever. Like, so I need him to be we need him to be very actively involved in order to get to that final point. Because there's not a lot we can do other than talk to whoever the selected person is and say, hey, here's what we want. But nobody can do anything without Jonathan being really very actively engaged. And we don't want to bring on any more contract staff. Like we have contract employees right now that do other things for us. I don't want to have to manage more contract employees, especially doing a process that I don't know what it is. Right? So that's not entirely easy to manage someone doing something that we don't know, or that none of us really have that. None of us possess that skill, I should say. So I thought Jonathan was planning to manage all of that, but that wasn't how his email to me sounded. And so then when I sent him a sort of a clarifying email, didn't get a response. So anyway, I had asked him to please follow up on that and follow up with me about setting up the appointments, but I haven't heard anything. So I just didn't know if maybe breakthroughs anyone else had heard anything. But if you have not, then I will send another email. I am a little bit nervous. I mean, those people were saying they were available. I think it was like November, December time frame when I sent that out. And they may no longer, have bandwidth. I don't know. But
no, it's a long time ago for a contract worker.
Right. Who they're like minute to minute, like, hey, I have time, hey, I don't. So okay, well, I will reach out to him again and see what his plan is. Or lack thereof.
Oh man.
It is going to all come together, Dr. Jen. Like, I don't know when or how, but one way or another, it's going to come together.
Everything's going to be fine.
Look, you have to be positive when you have hair like this. Oh my gosh, you guys, today, like, what is the problem? Like, yeah, no, I'm feeling extremely sheepish. So this is great. This is very good. So my other item, we'll just forge ahead, is our users meeting on March 11, 12. No, 11. We had kind of thought we would have the new person in place and have a few of these things done and have more to like discuss, like when we booked this, let's see, last month or no, 2 months ago, I think we booked it. Anyway, I think we've kind of anticipated that this work would be up and rolling and we would have more to show them. And so it would be a good, the timing would be good, I should say. But, oh, he's gone. Well, then I'll tell you guys and then we'll repeat it when he comes back. I'm just thinking maybe our users meeting probably should be postponed. I'm not sure we have enough to like bring everybody together if we don't have our new person. What do you guys think?
This is for the
Oh, did I miss you?
Yes, I'm so sorry. You're back.
I think I got disconnected.
No, so sorry about that. I was just saying, given that, because we had planned this date for the users meeting next month, anticipating that the contract employee would be here by now and they would have finished some of the updates that we had asked about. So this next user meeting was intended to be kind of updating about said items.
Agreed.
Given that we don't have a contract employee and probably won't have any progress on said list by the next meeting, which is in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, or the users meeting, which is in like 4 or 5 weeks. Hey, I'm just a little bit worried about, is that meeting going to be useful? Is it a good use of people's time? Do we want to delay it? What do you guys think?
It might be worth having it, but have it be the expectation that it's like a truncated, just kind of touching base with the user base to make sure that there aren't any, new questions or what have you from, the myriad of people that are using it. Certainly it wouldn't be as fruitful as if we had actual updates, but
true, but it's still the engagement with the base, and maybe 2 weeks out from it, I send out an email to the user base list and ask them if there's questions that they can think of in advance, so that if there was anything that I needed to prepare or any more complicated answers, that we'd be able to have that for them.
Okay. Well, it is on, I think, the second week. Yep, the second Monday in March. So we'll have one more database committee meeting before then. We have about 5 weeks until then. So that's good. So I will encourage Jonathan in the meantime about the contractor interviews. And even if we can just give them an update on that, maybe, that would be positive. Anything else we know we want to specifically target in that meeting?
I do not know. I am going to.
My
car is going. No, I'm in my car right now, trying to get to my daughter's daycare, and there is no way to get in and out of this daycare.
Oh,
because
no.
Someone has gone crosswise. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now.
Like volitionally or in an accident?
No. It's just that they have a funny driveway that nobody can seem to get in and out of.
That makes sense.
Oh, well, maybe I'll just leave her here until tomorrow.
You know what? It's not a terrible idea. Until I'm like, hey, I couldn't come. Yeah, I couldn't come, so daycare's on you for the night for free. Win-win.
have an early Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Yes, try to hurry and book some fancy like dinner and tell your wife, be like, I love you, Yeah.
I lost our daughter.
Yeah, strong work. Nothing says I love you like I lost our first child. That's good. Such strong work.
I have a question, Sarah Ann.
Please.
That nice dashboard that was shown to us, would we be able to have access to that just specifically for our center?
I think that's one of the upgrades that we've asked for.
Okay. So we don't have access to that now then, right?
No, I think that's one of the things that we want to have happen is to have all the centers have access to it.
Okay.
To their own data. Not just even super users, but have everybody, because that was one of the promises we made, is that everyone would have their own dashboard. They just haven't been finished. Right now, the way it's coded, everybody gets access to everybody's data. I mean, like that's the user version I have and Dr. Janowak has, like, so we can see everyone's data, but we can't release that, of course, to all the sites for everybody. And so I think Jonathan said there was just some simple coding he needed to do to kind of parse it out so that you only saw the bucket that you were in, you know, but the dashboard itself is already built. It's really more, my understanding is, and again, I'm not a coder, so I'm probably like not describing it correctly, but my understanding is it's more of like a permissioning, you know, situation than actually like building more code. So he thought it was going to be relatively straightforward and not take a ton of time to build because it's not as complex as like actually building a dashboard. So like, I'm fingers crossed, I'm hopeful that that's the case once we can get someone that'll just like dig into the system.
His last email to me about it was easily 2.5 months ago, where he said that he was, quote, putting the final touches on the site level dashboards.
Oh, good.
But he wanted to run something by me beforehand or before deploying it. And then like the phone went dead.
Hey, it takes a long time to charge your cell phone. That can be a really long process. So, you know, 2 months.
I guess.
Who knows?
I guess.
If he was doing it by like solar charger, I mean, and he lives in Portland, not a lot of sun, it could, you know, it could be a while.
There we go.
Could be a while. I mean, that's my like giving him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah. No, Shelly, I just can't say I'm sorry enough that we've been saying that we're getting it, and we just we're waiting.
Yeah. Hey, I will press him on this today. It's just it's past the point of frustrating to like absolutely just maddening. Like yeah.
The funny thing is I just so I shopped one of my papers that wasn't accepted at Journal of Trauma. I shopped it over to a Chinese journal. You know, there's a billion people over there, and
Oh, really?
I think a lot of their medical information is actually shared with the African nations. So it's
Yes.
this giant untapped resource. Anyway, I sent my article over there, and it was about the SID, or at least about data from the SID. And they were like, "Oh, this is totally amazing. We need to use more stuff like this." And it was like super positive. And so there's a desire for what we're providing out there.
Yeah. I can definitely see that. I mean, I think we want it. Like I suspect everybody does. It's just, you know, if we can do it in an efficient way. I totally agree with you. I think it's just a matter of making it work. Darn it. Well, on those lines, we do need to have information we want to present at the business meeting. So something to think about. Again, hopefully our updates are done by then and we can present some of that information. Obviously we have like a few of the updates from last time, or a few of the updates that came in that last batch that he did at the end of the year, that we can add into our overall display of things that have happened. But if everyone wants to kind of keep their mind open about what our ask is for Dr. Janowak to talk about, that would be great.
I will be happy to talk about anything.
Excellent. Well, we've got 60, let's see, 64, maybe 65. I can't remember today. Or I can't remember what my count was yesterday to remember, but we've got a lot of days between now and Summit. So you've got a lot of days to change those slides and make them great. Hopefully we'll get someone hired and have some progress on that.
I hope so.
It could happen. 65 days today. That's the number.
65 days.
65 days.
All right.
Yes.
I am going
How
to
many
get
of you are
off.
going to be there? Shelly, are you able to come this year? to the summit. It's just like a hop, skip, and a jump away. Oh, you're on mute, dear.
I don't think I had it on my calendar.
Okay, well, it's 65 days. So you've got a little bit of time. Yes, April 11 through 13. But it's in Salt Lake this year, so super,
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, yeah,
super
yeah.
quick. Perfect.
Yeah. I
That'll
have,
be good.
I have to see if I can get over there. I do have it on my calendar.
Perfect. Well, it's we're right in downtown Salt Lake this year, so super easy. Once you land, you're 10 minutes to the venue. So that's kind of nice.
Yes, yes. I actually asked my husband if he wanted to head over there while I was working. So
Yes.
on my calendar.
Yeah, it should be really nice.
I just have to make my arrangement.
That will be good. And Russell, I saw your name on my list.
Yeah, I'm going just because it's so close to the airport. That's the only reason I'm going.
Well, that and you got to cheer Dovin on. That'll be so good. I think he's actually nervous. Like I think for once he's actually nervous. So that's kind of funny. He's so unflappable that this will be unique for him to not be, kind of just the Mr. Cool. So
Yeah, we should all feel it at some point.
yes, that's so true. That's what Eleanor Roosevelt said. And she would know, right? Like every day you should do something that scares you. Like I think that's part of it. Good. Dr. Bassi, are you going to be able to come out to Salt Lake?
Yeah, I'm planning on being there. I had to
Fabulous.
take off a little earlier on Saturday than I ordinarily do, but yeah, we'll be there.
Nice. That'll be great. Excellent. Okay, well, Dr. Janovic just messaged me. Okay, he's struggling with keeping a connection, so he's gonna bail out. But I think we've kind of covered. We're just kind of in this stuck place. I'm so sorry, you guys. But I will circle back with Jonathan and then give you guys or shoot you an email as soon as I hear kind of his next steps. And hopefully by next month we have a new contractor hired and we can start making progress on our goals. So that will be good.
And sorry I missed out on the first few minutes. I'm assuming that we talked about
No, you're good.
contractor change.
The contractor still hasn't.
The database.
Still have not hired the contractor. Unfortunately, I know we need some tech, kind of the tech input from Jonathan to really like. We've received 3 candidates, and he was planning to interview those candidates. I put out a call for people. Like he gave us a list of things they need to have. So I put out a call and through some friends of mine that are developers and things, and they all reached out kind of to their network, and so I received 3 applicants back who sent resumes and information and letters about kind of what they're interested in doing. Because overall, it probably won't be more than like 4 to 5 hours, maybe a month. Is really like if they're staying on top of it, it's not a huge amount of work that we're asking to change. So we do have a little bit of catch up to do. And then the ongoing is not a ton. And so we're just trying to hire a contract employee to take on that work since Jonathan has a pretty full schedule, but we need him to actually interview the people since he'll know like the tech questions to ask them and then get them onboarded in terms of like access to the system and all the various things. So I know when I spoke to him mid-December, he was going out of town for a little bit right over Christmas. And then since I've messaged him subsequently, it hasn't led to much. So we are still just in kind of a holding pattern, but I will press him again. So hopefully, but I think once we're up and running with the new person, I really do think that will be, that'll move forward quite a bit. So that's good.
I did have one question about and this is maybe kind of a little bit out of left field, but I've mentioned this possibility as maybe more of a pie in the sky idea before, but I know and I don't think this is an uncommon barrier. We've talked about this at times in the past about our centers particularly challenge our particular challenges in getting data that we feel like is quality enough to submit to the database. And our biggest challenge is getting accurate, basically classification of the rib fractures that we treat.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
not terribly hard to get things out of Epic, like the medicines and those kind of things, but
Yeah.
the work intensive part is entering the data, one, and that's a challenge, but that's kind of our burden to bear. The second is classifying the rib fractures adequately on all the patients, and that's the big kind of clinical ask for our guys, and we just don't have the bandwidth to do it. But the pie in the sky part is do you know of anybody that's beginning to use AI in terms of
Yes,
that kind of
actually.
thing too? Because we're on the verge. Our radiology department is on the verge of employing a company that I met the representatives for a couple weeks ago to do PE studies. That's where we're going to start. But in talking with them, they have. And I don't know the extent to which or exactly how compatible it may be for what we need as far as the database information goes. I'm trying to schedule a demo with them on this part, but they also have software that for that specific purpose. And I didn't know if anybody had experience with any other companies or using AI for reading chest CTs or not.
That's very cool. I do know there are some people that have been focusing on AI. I'm trying to think of who it is. I know like Dr. Weifels from the Netherlands has been doing it. I believe Dr. Jobin has been talking about it. Russ, you probably know more about that. I don't know that you guys are actually doing anything with it, but I know he was interested in kind of exploring the technology. At least that was he and Dr. Weifels were talking about a research project associated with that and what that could look like. Do you guys use that, or where's that process?
Dr. Weifels has that, I guess, is doing research with that technology but we do not have access to it because our hospital is particularly difficult. But
no,
we
that
are
never happens, right?
We are trying to work with them to find a way to get them our data so that we can kind of participate with them, but have not been successful thus far that I'm aware of.
But
Dr. Wiffles is working on something with AI and reading chest CTs.
Okay. Well, that's very good to know. I do think it's something we should discuss at the summit, or just things that we could kind of put as a random call kind of out there, and in the users meeting next month, ask people if anybody else is doing that, and if so, how we can maximize that with SID, in whatever version they have. Whether, it may or may not be the company, of course, that you're working with, but if it was that one or something else, like, is there a way for us to take that and somehow, make decisions or input into SID or something like that? That would be great.
So, idea of is there a deadline for vendors to sign up and be at the summit? I'm just thinking
we still have vendor space available. Yeah. Do you want to send me their contact? I would be delighted to have another vendor.
Yeah, I'll just take a picture of this lady's business card and just send it to you.
That would be great.
Name of the company is AIDoc. Well, their company is AIDoc, but their website's AIDoc.com. And I'm going to be in touch with her to try to set up a demo for us. And I think, unfortunately, Russell, we have a similar problem. Everybody's got a budget, right? But since we're kind of engaging with this company already, I'm going to explore, maybe some support they can give us for this particular product to see if we could do a validation study. And, I'm not above doing an industry sponsored publication if it helps move us forward.
Absolutely. Well, if it helps us prove something that's useful for everybody, then that would be very beneficial.
I'll definitely send that to you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That would be great. Thank you. That would be very good. Okay, well, like I say, that next our next users meeting is scheduled for 5 weeks from today. That second Monday in March. So keep an eye out. Hello, Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Sorry.
No
Juggling
problem.
3 meetings at the same time. Hello.
No problem at all. We're just wrapping up.
Oh,
But,
that's excellent.
Yes, but at least we got to see you and say hi, so that's good.
Hi.
Are you coming to Salt Lake?
Well, not
You're
quite sure.
killing me. I can tell by that pause already.
Definitely making Berlin. Berlin's going to be a big
Yes,
deal.
It's gonna be
But
lovely.
Salt Lake, I've just been made the boss here, and there's just a whole bunch of crap going on with these crazy. Oh,
Congratulations.
it's the cardiac surgeons. They're busting my, whatever.
Yes, they're busting you over the
Like
neck.
little children. Yeah. Anyway.
That makes sense. Well, if we don't see you in Salt Lake, we'll surely see you in Berlin.
Sure.
Is your symphony playing around the time, or the orchestra
In
playing around
Berlin?
the time?
Yes. Yeah. In
Cool.
Switzerland. Yeah.
That'll be
Actually.
great.
Yep. It
That
is.
will be very cool. Good. Glad to hear it. Well, I will send follow-ups on these items, and if anybody has issues or things they think of, let me know. And until then, I'm sure we'll chat in the next couple weeks, and then for sure I'll see you the next month of this, and then the very week after for our users meeting. We'll see where it goes. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Be
you,
well,
guys.
everyone. Good to see you.
Yes.